All
Yeah,
right,
I got you. Yeah.
have you ready? Let's hold on. Don't advertise for the greatest soda on the planet. All right.
Yeah. So
Let's,
somebody said that maybe we should introduce ourselves. It's very possible that of the three people watching this, some of them may not know who we are. So
so I'll be honest. I thought you were going to have our names here.
actually, no, my video editing for movies probably not too bad for a guy that just sits in his garage, with a $50 video editing software
Right.
program. But
Right.
as far as editing, like for YouTube, that's supposed to be like a TV show. I'm
Right.
learning. So I think I've got the banners figured out for
Okay.
this video. So we'll see.
All
So if
right.
so, right now it's going to say that my name is Ted Gibson right here. You
Ah,
are
Jason
Jason.
gets right here.
Right there, right on the bottom.
Under
Yeah.
the double
So
chin.
yeah,
All
and
right.
so I'm coming to you from, I want to say Central America, but that's not true. It's actually the center of the United States of America, from Arkansas, and you're coming from that undisclosed location in the middle of the ocean somewhere.
I'm in Tierra Sierra, Portugal.
So I really think that at least I don't know, we decided that there was like a pandemic going on. Everybody's making money on YouTube, so we should have a YouTube show also. But actually, we spend a couple of hours every week on the phone because you're I don't know how many thousand miles away you are.
I'm 4,600 miles from Washington D.C.
4,600 miles. That's a long way to walk. So
It's a
and
long way to walk.
we think we're interesting, so we were hoping that you would too.
Yeah. So I'm sitting. You can't tell, but directly in front of me is a huge flat screen TV, and so the light is reflecting off the flat screen and onto my glasses. And I don't know if it bothers you guys, but it's driving me crazy.
Well,
Uh,
I sit here for work all week long, and right in front of me is my office because I get to work from home.
nice, nice. But I'll fight through. Just pretend like you guys don't notice the fact that you can literally see me in right here, my glasses. So Ted, let's just bounce right into this thing tonight. This is Sunday. You're not going to see this probably until Monday or Tuesday, but tonight is potentially the last time we see Tom Brady throw a football.
So I have some thoughts about this, man. I grew up knowing. I mean, that wrestling is fake. It's not fake. I mean, they really get hurt,
They do.
but they kind of script out the outcome. They get hurt. I mean, they're big guys and they're really in there throwing each other around and all that's like, but they script the outcome. That's all I'm saying. We all
Yeah.
know that. But here we have the
Right.
Super Bowl. Like, I mean, what are the chances of Tom Brady leaving a team that, and a coach and an atmosphere geared sort of to win to go to Tampa Bay, which was not a completely broken team, but in definitely need of a rebuild. And then his first year out of the gate, he's in the Super Bowl again. And this whole story with the worst year in United States history collectively, that's not a actual wartime or the Great Depression or the stock market crash. But besides those things, like of a normal year, the worst year we've had, and then they've come up with old versus new. So we got the goat versus the talent.
So I saw a very interesting graph this week, and it showed that I'm gonna forget a quarterback's name, but it was up and coming star, playoff, win the Super Bowl, play Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, get beat. Then it was Aaron Rodgers, exact same scenario. Oh, I'm sorry, it was Big Ben Roethlisberger, and he playoff game, Super Bowl, lost to Tom. Then it was Aaron Rodgers, the same three, and then as we know, Mahomes got to the playoffs, won the Super Bowl in the second year, and now he's playing the GOAT again. And it'll be interesting if he does it to Mahomes as well.
Yeah, no joke.
So Brett Bielema texted something, sent out a tweet today. Former Arkansas coach, he now works for the Patriots, and he sent out a very interesting graphic today
But
about today's.
I don't think he works for the Patriots now. He works for somebody else now. He's a
You're
coach.
right. I think
He's a
actually
coach
the head
again
coach.
somewhere.
He's coaching
Yeah.
again. So he sent this out in lieu of National Signing Day. he wanted to point out to all the players that are being signing with teams and being graded. Today, Super Bowl Sunday, only one player who is listed on ESPN's 5-star players. Only Leonard Fournette. He is the only 5-star in the Super Bowl. In fact, there are only 20 4-star players between both teams. There are 22 3-star players. The rest of the team is made up of less than 3-star players, to include Tom Brady. So star ratings are great and they're fun and everybody should enjoy them, but don't go crazy because obviously they're only as good as, well, they won't get you to the Super Bowl.
How much? I mean, but I don't have any idea how the ratings work. But how much difference is there really between a 5-star and a 3-star? You know, we talk.
So I'm glad you brought that up. So according to ESPN, a 5-star player is ready to start for his team the very first day on campus. A 4-star player is ready to start his second year or third year on campus. And a 3-star player hopefully will contribute at some point in time in his college career.
Yeah.
So obviously that's not correct because Tom Brady probably did a little bit more than contribute for the last.
You would think that they would have some sort of, like, I guess they don't have like a combine maybe to get their rating like they do in the NFL. But
so they go through summer camps and summer stuff like that where they're tested and whatnot. Rivals does camp and so does ESPN. But I mean, it blows my mind how many 5-star players just miss every year.
Yeah.
I mean,
some people are overrated, man.
Yeah. I mean, not to continue to pound the Razorbacks, but Mason Jones got the opportunity to start the other night for the Houston Rockets because all the players went out and had COVID. Yeah. He wasn't drafted. He was a 0-star out of high school. His brother plays in the NBA. He was a high draft pick. But Mason Jones played 20 minutes, had 24 points and 10 rebounds against NBA players. But he wasn't good enough to draft. It just makes me wonder what the scouting reports are really looking for. I mean, they didn't even draft me.
I just worry though that it comes from who is it that's pumping up the player? Does he know does he just know what they're looking for and make that guy work on just this? And so when he shows up, he checks all the boxes he was looking for, but he doesn't have the rest or something. Because, like, I mean, how many years of my life have I been convinced that the Razorbacks are going to win, and then when they finally get to the field, they don't even know where the ball is, much less show up to play. I heard a guy last night on ESPN radio. He made it sound like the team that's going to get Carson Wentz has a chance at winning a Super Bowl next year. It almost made me believe it, except for the fact he was talking about Carson Wentz. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I just wonder if the rating system, is it just based on, like, who's spinning this guy to make it seem like he's the guy, and then you get the guy, and, the 3-star guy, maybe he just didn't have a good promoter, Maybe he just didn't have the guy making the video for him or whatever to send in.
Say that. Hog Sports, I'm not going to go any further. If you know who Hog Sports is, a Hogs 247, they have a basketball writer, and he played college basketball at a small school in Arkansas. I don't remember the name of it now. But he said that he came from DeQueen, Arkansas, and he was a star player at DeQueen, but he said, if you don't know where that's at, most people don't either. And he said, my mom did my tape, and my mom and dad sent all my tapes out to all the coaches. He said, but to put it in perspective, the number one kid in the country, he paid $20,000 to have his tapes made and tapes sent us. We didn't have $20,000. And he said he was a 5-star athlete, and I wasn't a star at all. He said, I'm not complaining, but the difference between a professional photographer doing your video and your mom and dad on their cell phone 10 years ago isn't comparable.
Yeah. Boy, don't we know, we used to enter those amateur video contests in Little Rock, and, we really thought, not the last year before the last year we stopped, we really thought we'd brought a video, man. We'd really done it. And we actually, we won something, we won an award that year, but we didn't win the deal. But we weren't going to win because, like, some local video I can't say the words. You know, it was somebody a very high, a prominent studio in town. Their workers had entered the amateur video too, and they were able to use the entire arsenal that this company had. And we had
Right.
no chance. You know,
Right.
like you're
No chance.
amateurs. I mean, we couldn't even beat the kids that were coming just from U of A. They were able to use U of A equipment. You know what I'm saying? Like they had an edge on us. So we had to come up with some good script. But of course, we had like the best script, the best acting because of
Right.
who we are. But
Of course.
man, when you when the guys show up pro equipment, baby, you know, if you ain't got 20 grand, like I said, how you supposed to get there, man? This guy's got 20 grand worth of video. He's got, you know, a producer. He's got a director. You know, they're planning the shots. They got multiple cameras. They got a drone. You know what I'm saying? Like they got everything to make a $20,000 video.
Right. That one
Who
guy who had a helicopter. I
who,
mean, how are you
who
going to
charges a kid in college, in high school, $20,000 to make a video, man? Where's the real crime going on here?
Yeah, exactly.
20 grand.
20 G's. And apparently, like, that guy who makes the videos is still making videos today. That's how I knew what it cost because he's
Of
now in the industry.
course,
Yeah.
of
I mean,
course.
me and you probably should stop what we're doing right now and make videos.
I couldn't take the money, man. I just can't. I couldn't charge them 20. So that like, is the game important or is the food important, man? Because every year, 166 million pounds of wings. Wings aren't even in my favorite food groups. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
166 million pounds of wings are consumed on Super Bowl Sunday. That
So
is. Hmm, go
that's
ahead.
crazy you brought that up because I don't, neither one of my team is not playing this game. I don't care.
Yeah, but
I mean, I'm going to watch the game in hopes that somehow both teams lose, which isn't possible. I want to see funny commercials and watch chips and eat chips and dip and salsa and
I was trying to find something good about halftime shows, you know, because the Weekend is performing this year, or is going to perform by the time you watch this, and they have an extremely popular song right now. I didn't even know that's who the song. I didn't even know that was the band that played the song. I just know that every time it comes on the radio, I turn it up because the rhythm, bass, you know, the whole thing. It's fantastic.
Well, what is it? Let us know. I mean, over here in Portugal, we don't have new songs, so go ahead and
Well,
sing
it was
some.
already on the radio before you left. It's been popular for months now. You know it.
Oh,
Yeah, you know the song.
okay.
It's called Blinding Lights, but that doesn't help you with the song. You know? I only know because I looked it up. So I'm looking back at at halftime shows, trying to come up with some prep for my no show prep show, and so the university that mom went to, marching band was the first marching band at a Super Bowl in like 1960 whatever it was,
That's
1967 or something like.
crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And they appeared several times. I didn't realize it was marching bands until well into my life. It was like 88 or 89 when it stopped being only marching bands. But um, there's been a
I
lot of
can
great
say
shows.
I'm going to irritate half our audience, but I can
Yeah.
say that I don't need to watch the band during a football game.
Okay, so in 1996, the what do you call the competitor? The competitor channel was Fox. I don't know what channel the football game was on, but one of the first times that somebody tried to draw the audience away from the football game was in '96. Fox aired a very special live in living color, trying to lure away, and they pulled 22 million viewers away from the Super Bowl.
What did they show?
Huh?
What did
It
they
was
what?
a live version of In Living Color. It was a TV show at the
Oh,
time called In Living Color.
oh,
It was great. You
yeah,
watched it if you watched TV back then.
yeah.
Kind of like
thought we
Alf and Mama's Family. Like it's a rerun you never see for some reason. They're just
right.
not on TV.
I
I
thought we
don't
were
know
still
why.
on marching bands. I was trying to
No,
figure out like
no, I moved on, man. I was like, you know, trying to find something to talk about besides the fact that Tom Brady's probably going to win because that's what they want the narrative to go. This is not the
um.
passing the torch game, I don't think.
So it's really funny you brought that up. I had I had the opportunity this week to talk to a Tampa Bay fan who's been a Tampa Bay fan for like 10 or 15 years. He said my entire life, but when you get to about 35, you start realizing you work with people who are not 35.
Right,
Um,
right.
so he tells me that he was actually very angry when they signed Tom Brady. That he was a big Jameis Winston fan. He felt like Winston was about to have a breakout year, and he feels like that Tom Brady has ridden the coattails of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That it's not Tom Brady that anybody could have been the quarterback
I
this year.
see. I got you. He's forgotten
And,
about the players that came along after Tom Brady, then, I guess, because they're the ones scoring all the points.
well, they still have the exact same top 3 receivers, and their defense is still the same legitimate defense.
They wouldn't have AB, and they didn't have Gronkowski, man, and there's been a couple other guys came on board since Tom Brady showed up.
I'm not arguing. His point is they're leaving when Tom Brady leaves.
Hey, man, when you're the man, you're the man, you know.
Well, his point is they're not going to be here next year if Tom Brady retires.
Probably not, but you just, you know, it's the ring, man. You just care about the ring and not about, you know.
I mean, I guess, but if he's not planning on changing teams next year, his point was they were building to be good for the next 10 to 15 years, and they jeopardized all of that for 1 year.
Yeah.
And he's like, what if we lose? We changed our entire program to lose in the Super Bowl. And I was like, as a non-Tampa Bay fan, I'd be angry if Jerry Jones traded away all of the young talent in Dallas for one opportunity, and then you lost. I mean, and then you got to see that. It was an interesting perspective because I thought he was going to be all talking smack about how great they were. And instead, he was like, in a 5-year look, we're wasting 5 years for one shot.
Man, if Tom Brady, if he wins today, does he retire?
I think
he's not hurt. He's not injured. I think I would because Tom and I are the same age, man. We're like a few weeks apart, but
right.
There's no way, maybe if I had $100 million in the bank, if I had $1 million in the bank, I'm saying, man, I'd be at the house, and I don't even have a physical job.
If my wife was worth half the money his wife is worth,
I don't think what's he got going on, man? He's got AB living in his living room, and all he has is football, man. I just don't think he's got anything else to do.
I mean, that's a good point. And he doesn't take the hits. He's kind of the NFL's darling. If you sneeze on Tom Brady, you might get ejected.
I know that's been the thing, but anyway, still the outcome of the game will be known, and you know it could be.
So, I mean, I'm going to go on record in saying that it's not going to be a good Super Bowl. Whoever wins,
I think it'll be a blowout.
It's going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
The game will be decided in the fourth quarter. You'll get to go to bed early. You don't need to take tomorrow off.
Man, I'm trying not to trying to be a Super Bowl show, man, because I want to say, you know, if the Chiefs keep playing they played the last couple of weeks, they're going to lose this game, and they're going to lose it bad. I'm just saying, because they didn't bring their A game the last 2 games they played. They brought somebody else's game. They brought my game. They should have brought their game. I don't know what was going on. They did win 2 games prior. They did win the game, but they didn't win the game. You know, and that brings me to my next. This is my big moment here for the show.
Okay.
So, and not because of that game, the 2 games back. I don't remember who they were playing, but and I wasn't cheering for the team. I mean, I live near Kansas City, and I like going up there and watch their games because they have a fantastic fan base and they have an amazing traditions at their stadium. I mean, I love going to Jerry World, you know, because Dallas, that place it's like being in a club. You know, the whole time you're there, you're just like you're the man. You're the. It's nice. It's expensive to get in, but it's nice. But Kansas City, man, it's a whole different deal. It's different. Yes, they play football games on the floor like they do in both places, but
it breaks my heart. They're going to build a new stadium.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are. They have a new stadium out.
No, they're spending $200 million more to remodel that one. They're not.
Remodel. I'm sorry. That's what I meant. First, I thought remodeling it because I'm afraid they're going to take away what makes Arrowhead.
Right. Yeah. You know what's crazy is when we were up there the last time we met that kid who studied architecture here at University of Arkansas, and they got a job at the firm up there to design the remodel of that stadium because the fans they don't want to give it up because they know if it moves then they'll lose a lot of the tradition. It won't be the same because. Some of them have been renting the same parking spot, you know, for years because, and they tailgate. Everybody shows up to tailgate before the game. If you've never been there, nobody really knows. Maybe they don't know, but everybody tailgates before the game, except for the 2 white guys from Arkansas that we didn't have any idea.
Yeah,
you're supposed to do that.
I think if you go there and it's a bad game for Kansas City, you can come right back outside, throw some more food on the grill,
absolutely,
and have a great Sunday.
Yeah. I'm sure all the early games. I bet a good third of the people don't go home after the game. I bet you're right.
Oh, yeah.
They're in the parking lot, man. They got the TV on. They're watching football the rest of the day. Lawn chairs.
What a great job making that stadium so, I don't know the way we put it, like the sound just gets trapped in that stadium.
Yeah. Somebody really knew what they were doing.
Amazing. Just a great job making a stadium.
So my
football talk to architecture really fast.
Absolutely. So watching that game though I've been thinking about this for a while, and I guess I really got spurned on emotionally because 2 games back. But The NFL really needs they need to change the rule. There needs to be a rule made about not being able to allow a team to run the last 2 minutes off of a game just so they can not lose.
So the NBA had a problem with this, and what they started doing was they reduced the shot clock greatly. You only have like 20 seconds to shoot the ball in the NBA because they didn't want this to happen. Teams were doing, just like you said, they're up by 6 or 8 points, and they just hold the ball for 35 seconds, and they waste out 2 minutes before you can score 10 points. And the NFL needs to do something like that. The last 2 minutes of the first half and the second half, the game clock needs to drop to like 15 or 20 seconds. I mean, 45 seconds.
That's a great idea. That's better. I mean, I'm just emotionally mad about it, but I think you've got the solution right there. Like in the last 2 minutes of the game, yes, the shot clock needs to, it should not be 45 seconds. I mean, gosh dang. Why is it 45 seconds anyway? Everybody's running hurry up offense nowadays, except when they start stinking, and then they start slowing down, burning the clock up during the game.
So the clock was made in the 80s, I think, or 70s. I don't remember exactly when it started, but it was back when you substituted every single play. You went in the huddle, you discussed where you're going to eat at, how good looking the girl in the front row was, or male. Like
that's sexist. Could be male, yeah.
Yeah, could be either one. But they went back there and they chatted for half an hour, and then eventually they snapped the football. But as you just pointed out, in today's world, they expect to go up and down the field in 30 seconds. So the play clock has to be changed. In my opinion, they got to do something about it, because you're right. No one likes to be, 4 minutes left in the game, get it first down, the ball game's over. Like, that's ridiculous. Yeah,
I agree.
Absolutely.
Man, I wish we knew how this game was going to turn out. What about the Dallas Mavericks? Man, knocked old Golden State Warriors off last night.
Well, is that a big deal? They both are terrible.
I never would have dreamed that the Dallas Mavericks would have beat them.
I mean, I agree with you 4 years ago when the Golden State Warriors lost 4 games the entire regular season.
I mean, come on, we're in the very beginning of the season. The game was like 2-point difference or something at the end. I couldn't believe it, man. It was right down to the end. I think it's the first time I'd seen an NBA game where they were actually playing up until the end of the game.
It's funny you brought that up, because Golden State went from like a dynasty where you thought they were going to have a chance every year to KD left, and I forgot the young man's name, the other shooter alongside of Curry. He's been injured. He's missed the last 3 seasons with injuries. Got injured in Game 6 of the championship, tore his ACL the next year, tore his ACL last month. I mean, he'll probably never be the same again. And just what a terrible last 3 seasons for probably maybe the best franchise we've seen since the Bulls in the 90s, or the Lakers with Kobe and Shaq, and just devastating, man, just devastating.
I've seen a little piece of an interview. I'm sure everybody's seen it now. It's just so funny, though. I've seen a little piece of an interview with Michael Jordan, and the interviewer says, "Do you think your 94 team, could y'all beat the whoever?" He was talking about the team from last year, and he said, "What do you think the score would be?" And he says, whatever. And it's like 5 points difference, And the commentator says, "Really, you think it'd be that close?" It's like, man, most of us are like 65 now.
Oh, dang. Oh my goodness me. I remember when he bought the Charlotte Hornets, and the first day he shows up, he doesn't show up in a suit. He showed up in gym clothes, his old Bulls uniform, and beat every single player on the team 1-on-1 to 10. And it's like, if you had any question that this man could lace them back up again, those are out the window now. Like, yeah, he couldn't do it for 82 games. No one's beast can do that at 50 or whatever it is. But 1-on-1 to 10, anytime you want, I got you. It's just crazy. It's just crazy.
I've got to read his book. I don't know if he has the book. I got to read his books, man. I love MJ. He's the man. He's such a driven guy.
I believe he's gone bankrupt twice. Like complete flat zeros, and then just did it again.
So in lieu of you bringing up him buying a team, man, I hate to break it to you. That'll be the very bad news, but I discovered today that the XFL is not playing this year. There's no XFL games until 2022.
What?
Yeah. I don't know why they said. I read the article 3 times. They said it just makes more sense not to play this year to play next year. I have no idea why they didn't. I read it, but I still don't know why. But no XFL, man. I'm gonna record this game and probably watch it 10 times, I guess, because I'm gonna have something to watch in the next.
Wow. I mean, I want to tell you that, like, I wasn't expecting that to hit that hard, but wow, that hurt.
Come
man.
on, Rock, man. We're waiting some football, man. We thought you were saving us.
Okay.
I don't even understand then why was the NFL and the Houston Roughnecks deal such a. Why was that even headline news if they weren't fixing to play? I thought they were printing the uniforms off last week when they were duking it out in court about using which logo for what, they couldn't use it. And
As you guys can tell, I've gotten a haircut since last time. It's super easy.
A little heavy on the top there, or light on the top. I mean, it's like
just a little easy off the top. I actually went to a place. It's called Bar and Barber.
Bar and Barber.
They only offer 3 haircuts.
Okay, three haircuts.
Three haircuts. This was the one I went with, but there were 2 other options.
All right. What's the options?
The first one is called the 10.
The 10. That's what's under here, baby.
Yeah, right. Ted actually has it. In a second, I think we're going to pop it right up there. After that, there was the Psycho. The funniest.
These are real haircuts. Like, this is what they're really doing there.
Wasn't they all?
They can't just say it's 6 on the side and scissors on top. That's what I tell them. I go in there.
The 3 options. That was a new barber. You only had 3 figured out.
What about that bowl cut? Put that bowl on there and just trim around. Didn't do that either. Three haircuts. This is all I learned in school. 3 ways.
That's right. So while the guy's cutting my hair, if you get a chance to go to Bar and Barber, it's amazing. They actually serve alcohol while you're getting your haircut.
That's what I'm talking about.
But I didn't know about it at the time, or I might have. The coolest part is the guy is dating a woman from Rhode Island, and she operates the bar.
Yeah.
Her best friend Chelsea is another haircutter. She wasn't there. Apparently, she knows 5.
Okay, 5 cuts.
5. Right, she's pretty established. But I almost got the Psycho. I wanted it bad.
Yeah. Well, who wouldn't, man? Yeah, everybody wants a Psycho.
I just didn't have enough hair to pull it off. But it was a good time. It was a good time.
Well, since you're showing pictures, man, I don't know if you've seen it or not because I know you're 4,600 miles away from Washington, D.C.
A little bit.
Christopher Plummer died this week.
Oh.
You probably don't, maybe not know who that is, but I mean, you know who it is, but you may have it by his name. Christopher Plummer, he's the one who played George in The Sound of Music. He was the dad in Sound of Music.
Oh.
And,
wow.
And we grew up in an odd house. we watched Sound of Music probably one too many times, but I'm not so sure. I mean, also I'm crediting Grandma for my love of football, but I really think I learned a lot about about delivery from Christopher Plummer. Man, the guy is fantastic. His delivery of lines, his timing. He's the guy. He's been in everything. He was just in Knives Out last year or 2 years ago. I keep forgetting 2020 happened. In 2019, Christopher Plummer was in Knives Out. He's been in lots of movies. Amazing that he just worked up until the end. I hope it wasn't because he was broke. But
I need one of his whistles.
Yeah, he had a great whistle in Sound of Music, didn't he? Yeah, he really did.
Man,
yeah, but George Vane Trapp, man. It's a crazy, another one gone, another great.
Yeah, I've always wondered if The Nanny was based off of Sound of Music.
I don't know.
Probably
not.
Probably not. But I wanted to see what you're going to say because I know you're not a big Nanny guy. I mean, no one.
Well, no, not really. And man, Jennifer Lawrence got hurt this week on the set, dude.
What?
I don't know why, but she was on the set when there was an actual explosion. I didn't know actors ever did any of their own
What?
stunts. I don't think it was supposed to be, but it went wrong. Like I don't know, but something exploded, a bunch of glass, and she got a bunch of glass in her face, and pretty
I hope
that's
she's
scary.
okay.
Hope she's okay.
Yeah. Uh, man.
Damn, scratching bottom barrel here.
Yeah. So is she.
So yeah, so is she. Yeah, so a couple days ago, man, I opened up my wardrobe and there was a lion in there, and I says, "What are you doing in here?" And he said, "Narnia business."
No, none of your business. Speaking of none of your business, it's time for my joke of the night, and I hope that you enjoy it. It's a little bit different compared to most of the time. So, guy is going to the doctor. He doesn't like the medicine he's on. It just makes him feel a little loopy. But he has an old doctor who he's kind of a hard guy. Like, he doesn't like to give much. He's afraid if he just tells him, makes him a little loopy, the doctor's gonna say, like, get over it, grow up, whatever, something mean. He really wants off the medicine. So he's memorized all the side effects from the medicine. So the doctor comes in, he's like, hey doc, I just don't feel good. Ever since I started taking that medicine, man, I've got like dry mouth and head cold and I'm constipated, but I'm on diarrhea, and I've got like bleeding from my eyeballs. So the doctor's like, whoa. How much diarrhea? And he's like, bunches of diarrhea, like everywhere. It's horrible. He's like, would you say you've lost any weight because of the diarrhea? He's like, yes, doctor, pounds, tons of pounds. And he's like, 1 second. Jenny! Market that medicine Mr. Cooper's on for a diet pill. Push it out today.
He's bleeding from his eyes. Oh my gosh. Diet pill.
Diet pill. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Diet pill.
So last night went and seen the movie Marksman.
Marksman.
Okay. Our good friend Liam Neeson is the leading actor. It was not what I expected it to be. It is probably the best movie I've seen in, I don't know when. It's fantastic.
Okay.
Our hero is a rancher on the Arizona Mexico border.
Okay.
He's had some loss in his life, personal loss, and he's kind of in a rough spot. And he's riding along the fence, and he gets mixed up with a young boy and the young boy's mother, and the cartel is pursuing them, and they have a little gun battle right there at the fence. And man, I'm talking about, this movie is fantastic. It is. If there was any political statements in the movie, I didn't see them, except for the fact that the governments on both sides seem to refuse to do anything about the reason why the cartel exists. And the cartel is bad business.
Well, I'm all about movies that don't make a political statement, because I don't know about the rest of the world, but I'm pretty much just burned out on politics.
Of course, but the movie is just, it is great. It doesn't stop from the moment, from the time that it started until the credits ended. Man, it was on fire.
That's awesome.
I wish and I love product placement. So apparently the movie is sponsored by Chevrolet, because there was only Chevrolet hero cars in the movie. There was no other brands. And Liam Neeson's truck, man, it takes like 60 rounds at the border, and all it has is like a little hole in the radiator that gets patched up by a small town repair guy, and it makes it just all the way to the end.
So what exactly is product placement?
Dr. Pepper, we need a sponsor. But later on, our bad guys, man, they're riding in like this really nice Suburban. And Liam Neeson shoots a tire out. This thing jumps up in the air, man, like it's Godzilla. Flips over about 6 times, lands on the ground, and everybody gets out.
Safety first. Safety first.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was great. Well, I hope the game is good, man. Can't wait to watch it.
Good. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be great. I'm sure it's going to be excellent. At least
Definitely.
the chips and salsa will be.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Definitely chips and salsa. I hope I
Yeah.
bought some. Um,
Hope you buy some.
yeah. I have no idea. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope you buy some. We just spent like 30 minutes on the game. Is there anything else we want to talk about before we cut off? Because it's pretty much just a Super Bowl show.
I don't know, man. I got like Christopher Plummer, Jennifer Lawrence. Man, I just could not get away from Super Bowl. It's just on my mind. Oh, guys, by the way, I know it's Super Bowl, but don't forget Valentine's Day is next week. Please, during the commercials, buy your wife something for Valentine's Day, girlfriend, whatever it is.
So I thought that
Don't forget.
with like equality now, they're gonna buy us something.
They will be, and they have, but they haven't been blinded by the fact that Super Bowl today. Normally we have 2 weeks between the Super Bowl and Valentine's Day. Not this year, baby.
Not this year.
It's next week.
Yeah, hopefully there's a lot of Valentine's Day ads during the game.
That would be good, wouldn't it? You would think that. Yeah, you would think that J.C. Penney's and Jared. That's probably why they run all those commercials that I never watch.
So speaking of Valentine's Day gifts, so this last week I've been really just paying attention to like high tech gifts, like gadgets.
Yeah.
And I saw this cool machine that looks like something off like a Star Trek or something. And it clamps onto your neck, like right here.
Yeah.
It's about this thick.
Okay.
And it just makes a little curve, and it just curves onto your neck. And it's supposed to like give you the best neck back relief massage thing you've ever seen. And I was thinking to myself, like, self, if you got this for your bride, would you still have to rub her back and neck? Because if the answer is no, what would I pay for this? Then I saw the price, and honey, don't worry, I've got your back massage later, no problem.
See, I skipped over price. I was thinking, what else could I be doing instead of rubbing her neck and back?
Very nice, very nice.
Oh man. No, sir. I'll be happy to rub your neck and back for you.
Right, not a problem. Especially when I saw how many euros it was.
Euros, you Europeans.
Oh, speaking of Europeans,
this is not time for a potty break.
Speaking of Europeans,
European. Hey, look at that.
I mean, like real money.
That's cool, man.
Like something fake.
Yeah. You only need like half a wallet to put that in.
Yeah, it doesn't fit in my wallet.
I believe it.
Like it's taller than the wallet is. And the cool part, like, so the $10 bill is not the same size.
Oh, that's kind of cool, kind of weird all at the same time.
So if you're blind, you can tell which one's which.
Yeah. Hey, man, at the Capitol. I mean, at the courthouse in Little Rock, downstairs in the basement, at the commissary. They hire these people to work that from the blind school. Have you been down there?
No.
And they can't see, man. Like, you have to tell them what you bought, but you hand them. You can only pay cash. They don't take cards.
Yeah.
But man, they can tell the difference between a 1, a 5, a 10, or a 20 and give you change, baby. I'm talking about. I don't know how they do it. I have no idea how they do it, but they will not be wrong. I mean, it's amazing. If you haven't been to the courthouse downtown Little Rock, I suggest you go just to the commissary. Don't go because don't get a ticket to have to go.
Staying with your same topic, I made a fool of myself the other day.
Yeah.
I met a blind woman, not blind woman, a deaf woman who could read lips. And I asked her, like a moron, I said, "Oh, that's so cool. You speak sign language. Do you have any problem speaking to other deaf people around the world?" And as soon as I said it, it occurred to me that Portuguese Sign Language is not going to be the same as American Sign Language.
Oh, is it not? I thought ASL was the same. I thought it was universal.
What is ASL? American Standard Language.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was universal.
It's not.
But that's Sierra this, huh?
She was very angry at my ignorance. It was a lot of
maybe her letters are different, but I think all the signs are the same.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Correct.
So she didn't. So she can't talk to anybody, huh?
No. She can read lips pretty well, and didn't appreciate the fact that I didn't speak Portuguese.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. threw off our conversation. Yeah.
Happens to me all the time. I can't read Portuguese lips either.
Yeah. It's almost like it's a different language.
Yeah.
Throws me off.
Yeah. Who would have thought, man? And
Yeah.
and Portuguese people, man, they are just fantastic. They absolutely love our country, from what I can tell. They feel rather responsible for the United States of America, by the way.
They do. They do. As I probably mentioned before, they're our first ally, and they love us. And apparently, Rhode Island has a huge Portuguese population, and it's not uncommon for Americans in Rhode Island to marry Portuguese and vice versa.
That's amazing. I didn't know that. I did some research before you went over there, and I knew that there was a good population, part of the population here, but I didn't know they married back and forth. That's great.
Yeah. I have been thrilled with the number of people here who hate seafood as well. It's been amazing. I was expecting to be the only one. Not at all.
Not at all.
I was told if I grill not lobster, if I grill it has 8 arms and it's in the sea. It's got 8 legs. I forgot what they're called.
Octopus?
Octopus. If you grill octopus and you take the skin off of it and you just cook the meat, they said it tastes just like beef. Like it doesn't have a fishy taste at all. So if you boil it, it definitely tastes fishy. But if you grill it, the grill just sucks all the fishy taste out. And I was like, all right, I've got to give it a shot.
I will take your word for it. I mean, I've had calamari and it does not taste anything like steak. But it's fried,
It's not been fried.
I mean, it's fried, it's not grilled. I know, I understand, but
yeah, it is. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. I figured I'd give it a shot. It's I'm not gonna do it yet, but summertime.
It reminds me of like the fat on pork chops as well.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Yeah, that's pretty right on.
Yes, I can eat this, and yes, this is better than gruel. That wasn't what I meant.
Right. But I don't see why I should pay extra for it. Like, no, I'm good. But some people love it. Like the lady I'm married to loves it.
Hey, I mean, yeah, lots of people do. I mean, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Also, no vegetables here. If your child doesn't like vegetables, this is the place.
That's the place, huh?
Well, there's not enough land on the island to make vegetables.
Sound like a cop out.
Yeah. And the cows would eat them because the cows aren't fenced up here. They just do what they want. Yeah. They're pretty smart. They stay on the grass. Like they let cars stay on the road for the most part. Yeah.
They stay on the grass.
They do. I mean, until they don't want to. Then they all as a herd run out in front of the car.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's reversed. The dog chases the car. The cow gets in front of the car.
Right.
Very similar. But yeah, as you can tell, still not at the beach. Still stupid cold here. Still the Atlantic Ocean, so it's going to be cold. And I've noticed that your garage isn't open, so I assume Central United States.
Yeah, definitely not Central America. It's 30 degrees outside right now.
I'm a little warmer. I think it's 45, but yeah, definitely cold. Definitely cold. I think next time I'm going to try to do this right out the window so you guys can see my view of the neighbor's house.
Yeah.
Not the beach.
Not the beach.
Yeah. Stepping up. Yeah. Yeah, no show prep. No show prep. If you again, I didn't see any topics when I was looking at the comments, so you guys must just be really enjoying this.
That's true, but we do get some some suggestions from John for Super Bowl and quantum physics.
Oh, and, right.
My research into quantum physics lasted for about 10 minutes. There's a lot there to cover. It's a lot to discuss.
I want to thank John for my amazing sleep the last 3 nights while I've tried to read quantum physics.
Yeah.
Like I'm first page in, wake up with a book on my face. Like, thank you, John. So I don't know if you've been watching this show on one of the major networks, but basically what happens is a bunch of contestants are competing for a normal job, and someone who's really good at the job berates them insistently. And the idea is to try to bring the very best out of them. But what normally happens is they just berate them to death.
Yeah.
Hell's Kitchen. And the winner gets Hell's Kitchen. Yeah. So what I've been thinking is, what if we expanded this? So what if you had like Hell's Stalker. Not that kind, but like shelves.
Shells.
The winner gets $2,500 and a job worth, wait for it, $17,000
Mm.
a year.
A year.
Right. So you take 20 people, and I just envision like them putting the cans in the row, can in the row, and this jerk show host walking up and just grabbing all the cans and just throwing them on the ground, being like, "No, old ones go first, new ones go in the back. Failing your team. You're a loser. You're terrible. Stock them again."
Stock him again.
Or you see the guy stocking the shelves, everything's perfect, and then a can right to the side of the dome, and he's like, "That doesn't go on that shelf, you loser."
Oh man, I don't know. I'd like to see people do real jobs, not just cook food on TV or make knives.
Yeah, yeah. Then of course I envisioned the great one, Peyton Manning. Chop that meat.
Chop that meat. Finally inducted into the Hall of Fame. I mean, I guess it's not really finally, but here it goes. Here we go, man. Another one of Peyton's records is liable to be broken today after we recorded this show.
Yeah.
If Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl, Peyton will not be the only quarterback that won a Super Bowl with two teams.
You know, we're going to look back on this show in 10 or 20 years, and it's going to occur to us then just how lucky we were as fans to have seen not just Tom Brady and Peyton, but Drew Brees and Ben Roethlisberger and Troy Aikman and Tony Romo, who's probably better at announcing than playing football. He was a dang good quarterback, but he's probably better at being a commentator. I mean, if you go a little farther, we just saw Dan Marino throw the ball around in a run-heavy NFL. I mean, Steve Young, Jerry Rice, like we have been blessed. And I'm not even talking about the great one, Emmitt Smith, or probably the best quarterback who took 13 concussions, and Troy Aikman. But we have just seen an amazing group of players. And I have done Sony a disservice by not mentioning more. But
obviously, really, it just really grinds my gears, man. When I read articles, today and yesterday, and they're like, Patrick Mahomes, man, the most talented quarterback in history. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure Cam Newton was badass his first year.
Yeah.
He won everything and could throw the ball to anybody and run. No, Patrick Mahomes is not the most talented quarterback in history. I'm not saying that Cam Newton is, but
it's interesting you say that. If Tom Brady retires tonight, wins the Super Bowl, retires, climbs on the flying carpet with Giselle, and we never hear him again. If Tampa Bay signed Cam Newton, there would be a drop-off because it's not Tom. But this would be a legitimate contender with Cam Newton. The man just needs an offensive line. I mean, like you said, he has all the tools.
Yeah, he's fantastic. And he did great this year. He played some amazing football this year. And I was glad to see it, man. I mean, I was cheering for Cam. I will never cheer for Bill Belichick because he's the worst person I think alive. But
probably
I was cheering for Cam, man. I wanted to see him win. And I don't even like Cam. I'm not even a Cam fan, man. I was cheering for the Broncos whenever Cam was throwing a fit on the sidelines of the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah.
I seen a quote this year, man. I wish I had a better memory because I can remember what they say, but I can remember who says it. But it was one of the offensive people for the Broncos that year for that Super Bowl, and he said right after the game, he said, "Man, the Panthers, they came to be famous, and we came to win a ball game." I thought, man, that was
yeah.
And but Cam was there, but he might as well not even been there. That was like the most defensive game ever the Super Bowl. It was almost all defensive. It was all takeaways. The Broncos, I don't even think the Broncos offense scored a touchdown. I think it was all defensive touchdowns.
Yeah.
It was a great game, but
anyway,
I don't think Patrick Mahomes is the most talented quarterback in history. I don't think so. He's definitely a great quarterback, and I enjoy watching him. He's good,
and he might be before it's all over. But as of today, it's interesting. All these offenses, the dynamic weapons we've mentioned today, and just how they put up so many points. And you can see just like I can, the shift is coming in the NFL. It is just a matter of time until the NFL teams stop taking offensive weapons with their first and second pick and they start bringing in better defense to stop these dynamic offenses. And we're going to go back to the 80s of defensive juggernauts, not sluggernauts.
Sluggernaut sounds good too.
Juggernauts. We're going to go back to that era because so many teams are going to have to put defenses on the field to stop these dynamic offenses. And I'm not sure when it's going to stop, but I mean, to think about the fact that Dallas almost averaged 40 points a game and won 5 ball games is amazing. I mean, the points are just stupid. And you were talking about breaking records. I fully expect tonight for there to be the record broken for most points in the Super Bowl. Probably most yardage, most plays. Like every year we're going to break these records because the offenses are just the strength of every team.
Man, when you read the players that are on these two teams that are playing the Super Bowl, and when the game is over and you see the video, but when you read off the offenses and some of the defensive players, man, it's like you're reading the 1994 Dream Team at the Olympics, man. It's unreal that they're. It's just so awesome. It's so amazing. It's wonderful. This is the greatest thing to have so many good players on each team.
Yeah,
I really think this really is a Super Bowl, but I still think it's scripted that old versus new ended up in Super Bowl. I can't name another team that I think should be there. I don't think that's the case, but.
Well, I mean, even if Drew Brees would have gotten there, it's the same conversation. I mean, Drew is he's still a great quarterback for his age, but he's on the other side of it, just like Tom is. And I mean, the truth of the matter is this draft class had better produce some quarterbacks because the NFL's quarterbacks they're looking more for their second career than they are winning the next Super Bowl.
Yeah. I'm just so amazed, man, that Tua's a Dolphin, man. The quarterbacks come out of quarterbacks come to the draft every year, and they just don't seem like to go anywhere. Man, Brandon Allen can't even get a job, not a starting job anyway. But he started a couple games. But
funny you said that. How much is that going to matter in this offseason? I mean, he won football games for the Bengals. I mean, you win a game for the Bengals, that should be worth like 3 for the Patriots.
Yeah.
You're talking about Brandon Allen can't even get a job.
Quarterbacks, I just cannot believe that of all the quarterbacks that make it out of the draft, every year, and they're just gone, and they keep pushing guys. I seen, Phillips Rivers retired. I didn't even know he was still playing. Like really, and then the guy for Buffalo, man, that quarterback for Buffalo, my God, he's amazing. He was another guy this year that was just I wanted to watch every game. I'm not even a Buffalo fan, but man, he was just nailing it.
Allen is just a beast, man.
I really liked it because I won my fantasy league at work, and he was my quarterback. So.
Yeah. I mean, you bring it up, and you're right. So, like this year's draft, they're saying there's potentially 7 quarterbacks that could go in the first round. And honestly, the way the salary cap is structured, if you don't have a top 5 quarterback, why would you pay them $40 million a year, essentially for 1/4 of your salary cap? When you can go draft a quarterback and pay him $400,000, I mean, and I'm not trying to say we shouldn't re-sign Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott top 10, but what I am saying is that
if you don't think,
yeah, he's finished his first contract. But do you think he can take you to a Super Bowl? If you don't, you got to draft a quarterback. Look at the Eagles; they took a quarterback in the 2nd round, and lucky they did. I mean, quarterbacks are there's a reason Tommy's playing in the Super Bowl tonight. Because great ones, they just don't come around every day.
I don't know, man. I just feel like it's got to just be who you know, who's wanting to hire you. Because, I mean, come on, Tim Tebow doesn't have a job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's on TV or something. He was at Disney World a couple of days ago. He didn't know where he didn't have a job, man. That's unreal to me. And,
yeah.
I whole other conversation though.